Social and emotional learning can be a tricky thing to teach. However, with the right resources, it can be a lot easier. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing a graphic novel that is amazing to help facilitate social and emotional learning, specifically in the realm of maintaining friendships. The book is Real Friends by Shannon Hale. Here's the review coming up. How's it going, everybody? PJ here from the Awareness Module, where we are bridging the gaps between life and education. On this channel, we discuss how to influence young minds so that they can find success not just in the classroom, but also in their lives. We do game, resource, and tech reviews all around education and learning, so if any of that sounds appealing to you, subscribe? Yeah. So let's get into my review of Real Friends by Shannon Hale. Now, you may have seen a previous video, and I was talking about doing a video about graphic novels, which is still to come. However, when I read this book, I was so blown away that I wanted to do a single review of it and just get it out there to the world so that you could witness it. Now, the story is about Shannon, the author, in her early years and maintaining friendships. This book is amazing because it focuses so directly on relationships, specifically with girls and girl groups. The book is about, really the first half of it is about Shannon being sort of propelled into this group of popular girls, and then Shannon realizing that she doesn't really feel comfortable there, and so she starts to break off and start doing her own thing and meeting new people, and how that shifts the whole dynamic of the group and of her previous friends. It is a very thought-felt, emotional, deep book around friendship. It takes place between, I believe, grade 3 to around grade 6, and it's the roller coaster ride of the friendships that she has. The book doesn't follow necessarily a plot line. It's just snippets of her life and experiences with friends, and it really does cover an amazing amount of context. There is so much in here to discuss. So what are some of the topics? Well, there's a lot of things in here. One of the first scenes, and when I first read this part of the book, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for younger kids, because it kind of opens up a can of worms. But early on in the book, there's a group of boys that sort of grab her and Shannon and one of her friends, and they try and kiss the one friend, and Shannon gets super angry and defends her friend, and her friend kind of gets mad at her because her friend says that maybe she wanted the boy to kiss her. But then Shannon says, well, okay, that's fine, but he shouldn't really be grabbing you and doing all the other stuff that he did. And there's a lot of really interesting snippets just like that, where it's just, here's a situation, and it's Shannon trying to compute what's going on in that situation, and then it moves on. So there's all these really great snippets of relationships and friendships and dynamics. It also covers, there's a great sequence in there that covers her relationship with her sister. Throughout the book, she's constantly talking about interactions with her sister, and at one point in the book, there's what looks to me to be a very traumatic situation that happens with her sister. And if your family is like most families, you have those very traumatic experiences from time to time, and her sister gets extremely mad at her, and she's in her face and yelling at her, and makes her really, really upset. But at the same time, in the sort of background, you can see why the sister is behaving the way that she is. A lot of it has to do with the sister's ability to maintain friends. And Shannon always has these girlfriends over, and her sister's kind of always alone. And then one day her sister just kind of snaps, and I'm not going to give away too much, but you can read it in the book as to why that happens. So there's a lot of really great dynamics in here. Another great dynamic is Shannon is a very emotional student. When she gets upset, she runs into a bush and she starts crying, and she forms a relationship with a younger girl who is very similar to her. And it doesn't go into detail around that friendship, but from time to time in the book, she has moments of what we would classify as adults as friendship. But in the moment, I don't know if Shannon realizes that this girl's a friend because it is so subtle. So I highly suggest using this book as a read aloud in a classroom and discussion afterwards in a sort of second step style discussion around it, or as a parent doing a mini book club with your child and have your child read it and you read it and really start discussing some of these complex topics that are in here. The reason that I was looking for a graphic novel around friendship is because I was working with a student who was really struggling on a friendship level. That social emotional elements around friendship was very, very difficult for her. She desperately wanted to make friends, but was finding a real hard time maintaining those friendships. She was constantly burning bridges and in subtle ways pushing people away from her, and so she was really into graphic novels, and I thought, why don't I find a graphic novel that talks then about friendship? And I stumbled upon this beauty here, Real Friends. And I would highly recommend Real Friends to discuss and communicate around friendship. Well, there you have it, my review of Real Friends by Shannon Hale, an extremely powerful resource in social emotional learning, specifically dealing with the fine art of friendship. If you're interested in picking up this book, there is a link for it in the description below. You can also visit theawarenessmodule.com, check under the resource section, and there's lots of different resources for you to take a look at there. If you have any suggestions, this is where you get involved. Do you have any books that you love around friendship? Make sure to leave it in the comments below. I would love to read them too as well and hopefully review some of them. So what is the resource that you love to help teach friendship? My name is PJ from the Awareness Module. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm going to go feed my frogs now.
How you doing, guys? How's the party? You guys maintaining your friendship?